Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of your PA Dutch Minute. This episode, I want to take a look at the presidents of the United States that can claim Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry. I've done a video on probably our most famous Pennsylvania Dutch president with a good Pennsylvania Dutch last name, Dwight D. Eisenhower. But when I was doing some research, I recently discovered that there are other presidents that can also claim Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry, and there are a couple that people are saying are, but I could not find supporting evidence online. Not saying that's not true, but we'll talk about them towards the end. But I found 4 presidents that we can pretty much tie and say they're in their family tree, they have descended from Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry. So let's jump right in. The first president that we can add to this list is one of the presidents that holds a record in the fact that he served as president twice, but non-consecutive terms. So that's Grover Cleveland, who was president of the United States, number 22, from 1885 to 1889, and then again, number 24, from 1893 to 1897. His Pennsylvania Dutch connection is his maternal grandmother, Barbara Reel, who was born in 1772 in Germantown, and according to what I found online, she was raised in the German Quaker Church there in Germantown, which was founded by German immigrants, the first wave of German immigrants coming from Germany, settled then. A lot of other Pennsylvania Dutch ancestors and forefathers and foremothers came in through Philadelphia. So we can say that Grover Cleveland, through his maternal side of his family tree, descends at least a little bit from Pennsylvania Dutch stock. The next president is president number 31, Herbert Hoover, who was president of the United States from 1929 to 1933. And after doing a little bit of research on him, I came across his familial line, which is very much Pennsylvania Dutch. His paternal third great-grandfather, Andreas Huber, was born in 1723 in Ellerstadt in the Palatinate region of Germany. Andreas immigrated to America in 1738, where he then would marry Anna Pfalz in 1745. He and his family moved south on the Great Wagon Road to North Carolina, and his son Jacob would move his family to the Midwest. And eventually, by the time that Herbert Hoover is born, he is born in the state of Iowa, so you can see that the family has definitely moved, and that was common, during that time periods. So Herbert Hoover, eventually the name was also changed from Huber to Hoover, but strong Pennsylvania Dutch ties right there. Next, of course, I mentioned him before, but probably the most famous or well-known of our Pennsylvania Dutch presidents, and that's number 34, Dwight David Eisenhower. He was president of the United States from 1953 to 1961, and his line is also pretty clear. His great-great-grandfather, Hans Nicholas Eisenhower, notice the spelling of the last name, came to America in 1741 from Eiterbach, which is in the Rhineland-Palatinate area, and settled in Bethel Township, Berks County. Hans and his family at that time were of Mennonite faith, but eventually Dwight's grandfather, Jacob, would move the family to Kansas. They also were no longer Mennonites, and changed the spelling of the family name to how we know it today, more anglicized version, Eisenhower, H-O-W-E-R. And finally, number 44, Barack Obama. This is always one that surprises people. Of course, President of the United States from 2008 to 2016. But we have to remember that, Obama's mother's side of the family is not is not black, not African American. His 6th great-grandfather, Johann Conrad Wolflin, was born on the 29th of January, 1729 in Bessieheim, near the Enns River in southwestern Germany, and he immigrated to America in 1750, where he would eventually change his last name to making it a little bit more English, Wolfley, and settled in Middletown, Pennsylvania. So there are the presidents that we know for sure have Pennsylvania Dutch ties. Now, online, I also found references to 2 more, and those are the 26th President of the United States, Teddy Roosevelt, who served from 1901 to 1909, and the 29th President of the United States, Warren G. Harding, from 1921 to 1923. I did not include them specifically because searching online, I could not nail down the exact way that they were Pennsylvania Dutch. Warren G. Harding, a last name like that, of course, that is Germanic, but I couldn't necessarily tie it down to an ancestor that I could find anyway, that came over from, southwestern Germany during the right time period, settling in and around Pennsylvania. And the same way with Teddy Roosevelt. Roosevelt is a Dutch last name, not Pennsylvania Dutch, but actual Dutch. And, family trees spread out. There could be somewhere in either his mother's side of the family or also possibly on his father's side that there is a Pennsylvania Dutch connection, but I could not specifically find it online. So I didn't want to come out there and say these guys are definite because I didn't have any proof, right? So there are people that are saying these guys have Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry, but I couldn't find it. So if you have a way of proving that Warren Harding or Teddy Roosevelt are of Pennsylvania Dutch descent in some way or another, put it in the comment section down below. And if there's a president that you know that I'm missing from the list that also can claim Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry, put that in the comment section below and we'll all learn something new. This was a fun little video to do. I'm really big on history and politics and presidential history in particular, so I think it's really cool to say that we know for sure that there's 4 presidents in our history, for sure, that can prove Pennsylvania Dutch ancestry, and maybe some of us that are Pennsylvania Dutch distantly are related to some of these guys because of the way those Pennsylvania Dutch family trees, mix over all these generations that we've been here in the United States. If you have an idea for a future video, send me an email, let me know, and I'll tackle it. If you'd like to support what we're doing here at the channel, buy me a coffee. The link's right there. And tell all your friends about the great things we're doing here on the channel. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Tell your friends to subscribe too. And we'll keep the Pennsylvania Dutch content coming. But until next time, keep practicing your Pennsylvania Dutch. Schwätz Deutsch and Mach's gut.
Mach's gut.